I just got back from a camping trip along the Mogollon Rim in northern Arizona, and I was able to do a little bit of stitching, and I wanted to show you the behind the scenes of how I incorporate my love of quilting with the great outdoors. I find knitting to be a little bit easier than working with fabric, especially when I am traveling, either sitting in the car or around our campsite. So I brought my current knitting project, which is a scarf with a diamond pattern. So I've got my pattern all written out because I follow written instructions a little bit easier than charts. And I'm just working along here, finishing those last few rows of this project, and it's a nice activity to do when we're just sitting around enjoying the fresh air. Here's a peek at our converted minivan that is all set up for camping. My husband took out the seats and installed a bench for sleeping, so we have a mattress there, and a little set of shelves with all our kitchen supplies so we can do all our cooking, and we've got a portable fridge set up. And if you're curious about more of this setup, I can do an in-depth video and have him explain everything. Let me know if that would interest you. So when we get to our site, we lay out the floor mat, we put up a tarp so we have shade, we've got our portable camp chairs and a wonderful pop-up tent that I will link in the description below. Okay, back to stitching. A really popular option for quilters who want to take some handwork along is to have a Hexie project going, and I have decided to make diamond units instead of the typical floret, and my plan is to make some multicolored sections almost like an argyle pattern. So I've been working on this off and on for several years, and let me demonstrate that technique in a little more detail. So I've gotten several of my hexagons basted already. I'm just gonna find them all and lay them out. Okay, I need to baste a few more units here. So you take your paper template and attach it to the back of your fabric. And I keep my pins and needles in this little needle minder booklet. And I'm just going to pin that cardboard template to my fabric. And I usually use 2.5-inch strips of fabric to cut these little squares, and then I trim just 1/4 of an inch past that paper template. I have tiny little snips left over from my cross-stitching days. I don't know if those would get past TSA, so I would, if I were taking this on a plane trip, I'd probably pre-baste a bunch of Hexies so I could just sew on the plane. So I use a silk thread in a bright pink for my basting thread. And I first start with a quilter's knot there that I'm drawing through. I wrap it around the needle and then pull it through so the knot's at the very end. And then I fold over that seam allowance and kind of crease it along the cardboard. And I'm going to start in the middle of that row. So I'm taking one stitch so that that knot is not at a corner of my template, but in the middle of one of the sides. And then I crease that fabric over, keeping that fold there at the corner. And I'm going to take 2 stitches around that corner piece. So I'm going to go through all the layers and then wrap it around and go through all the layers from the same direction. And sometimes it's a little tricky keeping your thread away from the head of that pin, but you just work it all out. So those 2 stitches will keep that corner laying flat. And then I'm just going to go to the next side of my hexagon and repeat the process. I'm going to fold that over, and I'm going to take 2 stitches there along the edge of the folded fabric. So it makes a nice crisp corner along my hexagon template. And some people will take an extra stitch in the middle, but I'm using small 1-inch templates for this project, so they hold together pretty well, just putting a couple stitches at the corner. When we get to that last side, we can take the pin out, and we just do those last 2 corners the same way. And then we can knot the thread and cut our basting thread, and we are all set for that hexie. The next step of the process is to attach several of the hexagons together, and this is where we make the florets that you're familiar with, the center hexagon and then one on every side. So I'm going to switch my thread to my normal piecing thread, and I like to use Aurifil, and I'm just using a neutral color. Just as I did on the basting step, I'm going to start in the middle and just a few stitches away from that first corner, and I always take multiple stitches in the corner, so 2 or 3 stitches right in the same corner to make sure that those sections are well attached. And then I am just doing a whip stitch. I am catching the fabric on one side, not going through the cardboard template, and just taking a small bite of the fabric on the opposite side. And for this first section, I am keeping both of the hexagons folded together, right sides together, and I'm just working along that top edge and, you know, just doing a whip stitch there under the 2 layers of fabric, the 2 pieces of fabric, and on top of the cardboard. When you try this, you'll understand where I am aiming that needle, so that I'm just, you know, going through one direction, bringing the thread over, and coming back the same way every time for that whip stitch along the edge. And when I get across the edge to the other corner, again, I'm going to take 2 stitches right in the corner and fairly invisible stitches. So you can see them a little bit. I'm not trying to be perfect there, but now we need to add one in between. So it's, and I'm only going to stitch down the side that touches the center hexagon and repeat the process. But this time, since my thread is already attached, I can go ahead and take those 2 stitches right in the corner and then work my way across before I add the next hexagon. So I'll just keep working my way around that center until I have all 6 pieces in place, and then I will sew the side seams, the seams that radiate out from the centerpiece. Okay, I'm changing my technique a little bit. It's once you get multiple hexagons attached, it's a little bit harder to keep the edges folded straight together. So I'm leaving the whole thing out flat and doing my whip stitch with those flat pieces of fabric. So I'm still catching a bite of the lower hexagon fabric and then guiding my needle to take a bite of the upper hexagon fabric. And I'm just leaving the whole thing laying flat instead of folding them together and working along the edge. So hopefully that makes sense and you can see that technique a little bit here. Quick comparison, and that seam on the left is a little bit cleaner than when I folded the Hexies together. And now we're ready to pop out that center cardboard because I've sewn all the way around it. So I can just wiggle my fingers in there, grab that cardboard, pop it out of the center hexagon. Everything else is attached. We can continue working. And I can reuse that cardboard template with a new square of fabric and start the process all over again. Part of a good road trip is the food, and you can't go north in Arizona without some pie. Now, one of my favorite places is this little roadside stand called the Pie Bar, and it's in Strawberry, Arizona, and they serve empanadas. These are little hand pies, so self-contained pies. They make savory and sweet options on their menu, so definitely a must-have if you're ever out west in Arizona. And traveling down I-17, another favorite spot is the Rock Springs Cafe. They have wonderful diner food, burgers, pot roast, meatloaf, all these good just home-cooked meals, and their selection of pies is excellent, and we make this a destination stop as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this little camping episode, and I invite you to try some scrappy quilts using some of my favorite patterns. See you in the next video.